that, and it makes you, and it gives you a willingness to not want to commit kata. The law wouldn't do that. The law doesn't give you, even with, think about it. Once we've seen the first person die, what you look at? It's like, if you watch a guy, hypothetically, I walk up and I slap Jaheed and Jaheed shoot me, who next? Who gonna walk up and slap him next? Why wouldn't you slap him? He might shoot you next. Now that's scary, and that's how we all think. But after we seen the first man die, why didn't everybody else stop saying it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the most easy thing, because that's just common sense. Somebody look at, don't mess with that guy, hit him. That guy killed a man.
Yep.
But why is it we see all these people that tried Yahuah and Yahuah struck him down and killed him, and we still commit sin? So it's one of those things where we look like we're smart, we actually not. You know, and when you realize the fact of how he operates, what he gives you, what he allows you, and he loans you, you just become so appreciative to look at. I wouldn't want to mess that up, especially since I didn't earn it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't earn it. You know what I'm saying? It's like your teacher, you didn't pass, but I'll go ahead and I'm gonna pass you anyway. Because I seen a genuineness in you. You'd be surprised. He said no, he went. But you know, a lot of teachers have. But let me tell you what some teachers will look at when they grade. Some teachers will look at this with getting the information, really actually capturing the information. They'll really look at a student really push and try. And to me, that weighs more than a kid that might have gotten it, but I can see your behavior. And for me, you know what I'm saying? Your behavior to me more or less fail you. You know what I'm saying? It's different. People are different on how they grade. And you look at Yahuah, you look at the Torah. To do it is to get 100, but nobody could do it. You couldn't get 100 if you tried. And he set it up to show, man, that nobody will be justified before him when it comes down to the Torah. I mean, even we learned about Abraham and how Abraham obeyed his law, his statute, and his kept his judgment. Did he do it when he was in his Abba's house? Because that's when he called him out. Abraham came out from a mishpachah family of people that did not keep the Torah. So when you look at what Abraham kept, did he keep it when he was in his house when he called him? Because our book clearly tells that he called Abraham an uncircumcision. He did not call him in the circumcision. He gave him a circumcision because of Abraham's affection, his heart for Elohim had grown and he become so fond of Elohim to keep his every Torah, every statute, every every mashpat, because of the fact he knew this ain't something I earned. You favored me. You looked through my mishpachah and you picked me. You chose me and you picked me among them and said, out of you, I'm gonna make a great gui. I'm gonna make a nation out of you. And some people who don't consider it, and we should consider the fact that there's nothing you could have done. You can say one night I cried like me all of you know how many people cry? Y'all know how many people pray? This man got a whole week to sing the song, Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior, while on others are doing what? What you asked him to do? What make you think I'm stopped by you? You weren't calling just like them. Everybody say the same thing you said. Don't pass me by. Don't pass me by. Don't pass. Who in here want him to pass them by? How many of y'all here don't want him to pass you by? Don't you know that's everybody? So is it he stopped because we want it? Because I favored. I favored you. I set up an opportunity. The thing with their favor only come through by the Khan that he gave to Abraham. It only came through because of Khan. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, we're looking for him to do for us what he did for others. You know what I'm saying? You picked me out, and I'm appreciative for that. I think, I just don't think we really, I still just try to ravel my mind around, you know, you put a law that everybody tries to look at who's keeping it, who breaking. Oh, nigga, you ain't keeping on no law, nigga. I keep 613. Everybody hollering, fight who keeps is actually 615. Somebody finds 618. Really it's 620. So it's such a fight of people trying to create laws to be, and nobody understood yet that, no man will ever be justified before me with the Torah. Otherwise, it will void out Amanam. Because what I gave to Abraham, I never gave it to him because of the Torah. I gave it to him because of the secret, because of the Sadiq of his Amanam. So you keep 618 and 620. You keep 650. You still won't be justified. Now, some will take it that Tom Smith just said you don't have to keep it. I never said that. I just want you to understand you wouldn't be justified by it, because then it will void out the operation what he always intended. I intended to save you by Amanah, not by the Torah. I kept and I placed the Torah with him to give people a direction. You know what I'm saying? Who could do that but him? That he was son of man, a man mind driving to try to find every law, every statute, every judgment that he couldn't keep if he had every one of them. There's too many obstacles. There's too many ways. I mean, the people had animal fall in the ditch. And he asked, which of you? Mm-hmm. Nobody raised their hand for when he asked. Nobody right here said, I'll leave mine in the ditch. Not one of them would have did it. He said, you know you were breaking the Torah. Because if you kept it the way he kept it, he said, nobody did nothing. Mm-hmm. But then where that would have left you, if you was a man injured, you was a man down. Y'all got what I'm saying? So he looked at the righteousness of it. If this man fell down and something happened to this man, it's Shabbat. What I'm gonna tell him, I can't help him out of Shabbat? What if this man don't recover? Mm. He said, then you just voided out what I was seeking. I want a man to look past and realize that man needed help. And this would be the right thing to do. You got what I'm saying? So with keeping it, it's just the mindset he can allow you to have or get. You couldn't control it. Don't try. It's just trying to be able to surrender yourself. Surrender all your ideas, your thoughts about it, and say, I just want to know what your way is. So I make sure I get it right. I don't want my own way. There's a lot of people spend a lot of time, man, going over the law, reading the law and getting it, and still don't make it in. Musha, what do we know Musha for? Giving us the Torah. And he made it into what they call the Brahma land. All that man did was struck. They got him so angry, the man struck. He struck the sewer, the salt. He struck a rock. And Yahuah said, he ain't believe me. He looked at the people. He was just pissed. He's like, man, I got to do all this and then I got to fetch it for you. So when he got angry, he smoked the rock twice. And Yahuah told him, he won't make it in. He couldn't enter into the land that they were going to see. That's what they knew. Those people didn't know about going to no Shamayim. Only thing they knew about Shamayim was who was going to go down and fetch it for them. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew about going up there staying. We don't have any writing about nobody talking about going and staying. Well, we knew it in our first Berith. Those people looked at everything established right here. Jerusalem, the place where we looked at he was going to establish. We knew there was a place. So like Abraham, they were seeking a place. They didn't know no name Jerusalem. But they knew there was a place that Elohim he was going to establish, like he did in the gun, that he was going to grant to a people, to an arm. And that's what we're trying to obtain now. And in doing it, we just want to understand that at your best, at all you could do, it couldn't measure up if he don't give you the con. If he don't have favor towards you, it won't work. And a lot of times with that happening, we look at a lot of natural things working out for us. Don't account everything natural to your salvation. I was telling somebody that they're eating with business. A lot of times what people do, if things don't work out for them, they're just naturally associated with them not being right. A lot of times it ain't about you being right. It's about seeing where you stand. See, he got a lot of people that do for him and that will do and that will call upon him as long as I got what I need, as long as I ain't suffering and going without, as long as I don't lose nothing. I serve it to the day I die. And those are the people he said, I don't need them. I need some people to serve me all the way up to. All the way up to, just like Yahushua did. But that's a ahab, an affection you got to have for him. Not an infection, affection you got to have for him. But the fact you realize this ain't something I can earn. This ain't something you can earn. You couldn't do it. So we learned about him like he told us. They all had, that's why he told. They all got to be taught of me. He said, they just all got to be taught of me. You know, you realize it's a difference of how you serve when you're serving on the fact of, I don't deserve it, versus I work for this. Those are not the same two people. No. I don't deserve it. I work for this. Everything I got are two different people. And a lot of people try to serve him under the cover of, I work for this. And those are the people he'll reject. We understand it's nothing I could do at my best to obtain it. It's all because of Khan. It's because of favor. And we always acknowledge the Abba, Abraham, Yasakak, and Yaakov. And we realize it's just favor. Everything we got is a loan. That's a loan. Remember that. I loaned it to you. When I gave it to you, I was looking for you to try to get me interest with it. And you know what a lot of y'all do? You made absolutely nothing. You recovered nothing. I don't know, y'all just don't know it. You'll pay for it later. That's another defect. The way y'all synagogue, you're in violation. Because he loaned you something. And he told you, you were supposed to get me interest. That was supposed to be an increase when I gave it to you. So if a farmer gets a bag of seed, does the man that come back, the man that come back out there, he looking for a bag of seeds? What he looking for? When Yahuah come back, he looking to reap the seeds. He reaping the harvest. He's already planted the seed. I'm looking to reap the harvest. See, a lot of you guys, you serve in this little covering in of you think it's a protected end. I stay by myself or stay to myself. I keep myself from stuff. I make sure I do this and I don't do this. And you'll be the very person who won't make it in. And I know I hit you. I meant to hit you. I meant to hit you. The man invest. He look, if I gave it to you, I invested in you. I'm looking for interest. Now, what you gonna tell me you recover? He told the Shala King, they called the apostle, he sent him out. He said, I ordained you. He said, you should bring forth Pari and your Pari might remain. So if you went out and you ain't getting no Pari and it ain't remain, did I send you? He never gave you a talent that you'll set and you'll do nothing. He told you no man lights the candle and put it on the bushel, on the table. He said, put it on the top. So when everybody come in, they can see it. You guys have taken to yourself, watching in and in him. You got taking yourself that you're just going to be safe. Your safe is destruction. Because you hadn't worked. That's what Yahushua tried to tell him. He said, I had to work while it's day. That's why, listen, he look at the aura shine. I got to work while it's day. He said, cause the Layla coming in. Nobody can work in the Layla. That's right. You're doing Layla work in the daytime, which means you're doing what in the daytime? Nothing. What are you doing when you sleep? Nothing. You're doing Layla work in the daytime. It means you've done absolutely nothing. You've achieved nothing. You've gathered nothing. You've done nothing to his fame or to his gathering, to his building up. And exactly, what is he supposed to give you for this? What's the pay for this? Because he told him to go in the vineyard and work and whatsoever was right. What are we gonna do? Bring your work up. What you give a student to come up with a blank piece of paper and you gave an assignment? What you give a student that come with a blank piece of paper and you gave him an assignment? What you give one? Blank piece of paper, huh? So you can't bring no work up. What is he gonna give you? Just make sure we're all aware. Make sure you're aware of what you've done. Y'all got it? I know what you're saying. You ain't a preacher. Well, you count that to yourself. Don't you be stupid. People got to see us. People got to see a difference. They do. They got to see a difference. He put us in all these different places. Like I told you, just like these jobs, places you hate, places you don't like. He got to put light there. Or we're going to do one to do it. It's going to manifest. How you think these people know they're wrong? You'll hear someone tell you, before you came, we ain't have all this stuff. Now we got all this stuff going on. Hadn't been no or him. Hadn't been no light till I came. That's what happened. Because it's gonna be where they gonna look at confusion or whatever. It because it hadn't had no light. Everybody before you came just went along with everything we were doing. Now you don't come here and now the rubber meets the road. And you looking at it, Lord, why you put me here? Yeah, you bad Christian. Lord, why you put me here? Lord, it don't make no sense me being here. It's like, look at everywhere I'm at, like ain't nothing but trouble. You know why? Because or him. What they gonna do when light comes? Y'all got it. It gonna be, what y'all think happened when R.O. come? He told you couldn't even comprehend it. Why you think people ask you questions? I don't know what you're doing. I never heard that before. Long as I've been living, I ain't never heard all this stuff you talking about. What you supposed to do? I ain't never heard that before. What y'all think Kashat did when they seen R.O.? Man, I've been looking for you. Like, where do you come from? Never seen this before. And they asked the other one, man, you ever seen this? I ain't never did it for me either. This crazy. What you say you are? But what happened a lot of times, we're so busy trying to fit. We're so busy trying to fit. Now the people understand because you could shop and they could shop. Isn't that right? Two daughters. versus holding our end and realizing it's gonna be anywhere we come to, it's gonna be confusion because it's gonna be a difference. He said, and that you may put a difference between clean and clean. Sure. Sadiq and Rosha. That's what he said. He said you put a difference between them. When the difference gonna come? Listen, as it gets later, it pushes us, promotes us more to looking at, we really have to do more self-examination to look like we're really standing our ground when it comes down to the way we live. People gotta see it. And when we do it, it's gonna be a fight. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't, what did you do the first time you heard it? How many of y'all the first time you heard, you're like, that's it? No, you fought it because it came at you. One person. And what you did? Didn't nothing hit you?
It hit me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what happened. Most folks dealing with the fact they hit them first. It offset everything you're doing. That's a lot you start looking, man. You got to go through your list of everything you love. You got to realize, if that right what he's saying, that means ain't nobody else right. Mm-hmm. That means everybody around. I mean, it's a lot. You got to go through folks. It'll make you go through people.
Yep.
It'll make you go through people you thought about. You be thinking, that would mean.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's right.
That ain't go back check grandma.
Grandma. That's right.
Yep. Somebody real deep in your family live, you don't pull you saying. That'll mean
not saved.
And that cause problem. That cause a lot. You know, and guess what? What you have to do is what everybody has to do. That's why people stay where they at. I had a young lady years ago that went here. Well, a lot of y'all came and she loved it. And she stayed. I mean, she was here. She had a little son, and her brother had been married. He got divorced, and he was getting remarried. And she came to me and she talked to me about it. She told me about it, and she told me she wasn't gonna be able to come back. I was trying to figure out why. She said, well, according to what you're teaching, she said, my dad ain't saved and my brother ain't gonna be saved. She like, his wife left him and he's gonna get married and we love her. She just, I said, it's adultery. She said, that don't make sense. She was like, we love her and they finna get married. I said, that's adultery.
What it is?
He got a living wife. Yeah, I heard her. Yeah, she loved her sister-in-law. I'm sure they divorced by now. But you know, you'll throw everything away for people, and then you get finished, you look, and he'll do that just to show you. You put a lot out there.
Yep.
And then you put yourself so far, you can't backtrack. And see, a lot of things come up. It could be a trap. It could be a stumbling stone. And you have to be real careful because I'm telling you, every one of our lives had to be examined. Every one of mine, yours, because you'll be surprised what we'll hide, what we got. You'll be surprised what we ain't been tested on. And that's the only way to know. It got to be tested. Y'all know that? It's got to be tested. And, you know, just like when they show you a tire, most of you probably pay attention, your tire got a pressure point. It's got an amount of pressure it can hold. That's what it can ride with. If you do anything over that, you risking it. Because we know what we tested it at, and it can hold that. It can stand now. We've anticipated hitting certain things, the tire will hold. If it's kept up, it ain't dry right. But if you push anything over that on that, you risking it. You risking it. You got what I'm saying? So when it comes to what Yahuah giving you risking if you do anything other than what he told you. Because everything he told you to do, it's been tested. Everything it's already been tested. Anything other than that you do, I'll be honest with you. We couldn't warrant it. You bring it back in, say, man, I want to see you. He said, okay. I said, come on, you got your paperwork for what you got. Yeah, man, I love it. I got this wife. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, and I know what the word said about, you know what I'm saying? Dwell with him according to knowledge, so your prayers don't be him. That's book. And I got to stand on, he got to stand on that too. That's all in your warranty paper. And I know my first one, she wasn't like this, but this one is whole stop. You say your first one. Yeah, this. Well, see, I went in the truth when I had the first one. We don't even cover that. Your warranty void. You couldn't come to me and ask me about why things should work out. It's not covered. Everything he told you he'll cover, he'll do, because it's been tested. If you do anything other than that, he can't warrant it. It don't make sense. I already know it won't work. Everything he tell you, because I done let the people do the other way, it don't work. Only thing work is what he gave you. That's why he'll stand on it. That's why he came here and he wouldn't move. When he stood up, he shake. You don't read us how he would shake, tremble, and sometimes he'll lean. They've been tested. That's why he knew. He said, that's how I made unashamed, upright. That's why he could stand. He held to it all the way up the move, and he ain't moved. He said, this I can stand behind. See, a lot of stuff we're trying to do. If you go back and look through your paperwork, you'll see your water is void.
Yeah.
I never told people try to go home. You said in your word, you said, I said a whole lot of things. Tell me about that too. People go pick one and two little things. He said a whole lot in that book that you need to make sure you stand on before you come quote one or two things to him. Because it's been tested. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't make sure. Whatever reason I told y'all that, hang in here. You got to get it right. It's Romans. They already there. For those watching in, using Byth AmatsYahu program 15-4 is the what we're gonna use and talk with y'all a little bit so I can try to get finished and get through. I know you want to talk to them, you get finished. Don't do it. Save it. Y'all hold me up every Wednesday. No, you don't want nothing. Folks see me 3 days a week, then hold me up. And like something all important and jumped about or something. What you got? I just want to lick at you. Take a picture. Shoot it to yourself. Let me get some time back. This is Romans 15-4. Listen.
For whatever he could talk before.
Whatever. I heard that squeak too. So that whatever written before.
Nikatah to law.
It was only written to teach us, to show us, to instruct us. And that's important too. It goes along with, for me, it works. For me, everything said works. Even if it come against me, it works. Because it come against me to try me and make sure I'm still standing. You just don't just stand on your own and you can think you are, but you have to just give all consideration for the fact that what he does and you understand where you at. For me, I look at, I fought a lot of stuff for a lot of years. I did a lot of fighting, a lot of struggle, a lot of years to get to a point to where, I understand. I understand now why. I understand why I had to make so many detours and not stand, and so many detours why I failed, and so many detours why I let sometimes say, why I do that? You know what I'm saying? Intent wanted to do it, but I done it. So I wouldn't have no confidence in the flesh. But when you're doing it and you learn about yourself later, you can appreciate it. But when you do it, it's the worst thing in the world. So it actually happens to build you up to realize it's just some stuff I know. I ain't doing it. It just ain't. I'm not finna beat myself. I just can't afford to do it. How the feeling of it and the recovery time and everything you deal with is like, I just can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? It just beats you and where you so to where you look at you genuinely and you were genuine, but you just realize you still fail. And then you understand what he gives you by con and realize, wow, how does that work? It's like, wow, how do you, so I didn't pick me, you picked me. You think when the 12, they thought they picked Yahuah. He let them know, he said, you didn't pick me, I picked you. Those guys had no idea when they went to work that morning to go fishing and they were untangling the net or however they were doing or packing the net. They had no idea that the savior of the whole alarm was gonna come by. And said, drop your nets and follow me. I'm gonna teach you how to catch on the shin. You think they knew that and say, I feel like today something special gonna happen. I just feel like today I'm gonna lead this job and elevate. They would no doubt doing what they do every day. Just kept it considered, but he saw something about that he knew I could use these men. Because what they do, they have a technique to it. And I could take them and show them I could teach them a technique and how this could be viable for them and they can understand it. Well, they can gather in men for me. That's his goal. He's trying to gather. When we look at our olive Byth chart, we look at the teat, which is the basket. And it's used for gathering. Similar like a net. We're getting that better. Like they said, black people, what they say we like?
Grabbing.
We ain't getting out. And he look at, and you know what it also show? Contain. See, that's what he teaches us with the bar. The word will contain. It'll put you on the, it'll contain. It'll contain. Now I look at stuff happening with people fornicate, people commit adultery. It's the wildest thing to me, but I wasn't far removed from it's so easy. And until you get that point of growth with him, you just realize, you're just like, wow, it don't even make sense. Because you know what I'm saying? I know so much outcome to it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I said, man, bump it, I'm out here. Not me, I can't. It's too much I know. I mean, I just be honest. I mean, we ain't going nowhere. I already know where it's at. At the end of this, man, the rest of the destruction of my life started. And then like, I can't even afford it. You know what I'm saying? I can't afford the destruction of the rest of my life. A lot of you got where you at. It's like, you can still stumble, you can still play, you still go. But it's a maturity. I ain't saying it, I want you to know it's a maturity that you get when you just realize it's just some things I can't do.
It's right.
I can't afford to risk this. I risked everything before. So many times I risked it. You know what I'm saying? Not realize you risking this from you taking a major chance. You think I'd have known that? If I'd have known it, I wouldn't have done it. And now to let me come into the knowledge of realizing that is more scary because I didn't know that. I didn't know, you know, like they say, he died for our sin. What is that? Omission and commission? What is they call omission, omission, and commission? I know y'all know now. They folk been out of
No,
they don't know nothing about it. Y'all done heard that before?
Yes, sir.
That's for the sins I was gonna do or sins I ain't want to do. Yeah. They holler them all, but they got so many different ways they can put it together to make it sound like. So you know, in the Christian mindset, it's almost like, you know, he already knew he know I was gonna sin the morning I got up. He paid for that. It's like, wow. So you just took the brakes off and just started sinning. But it's so easy to get caught up when you find out about con. Because it would look like, so if I can't be justified by law, why am I trying to keep it? Now I keep it out of debt because I harbor it. It makes me, see, when he gave it to me at first, it was rigor. You know what I'm saying? Come on for a second, I'm borrowed. Come on. This is the law, I'm getting the law. I'm getting the law. I'll give you the law, you turn around. Every time you don't do the law, I'm gonna just hit you, okay? All right, move to your left. Back up to your right. Go forward. Come back. Bend your knees. Stand up straight. How you feel about that? Do you feel like you can get it right? You can't win. You really want to keep doing it? You want to keep doing it? Thank you. That's how I looked at it. What's the point? You can't get it right. I told him, by the time he got that, and I'm giving you kind of how it look. Every time you go to do something, there's something else you got to do. And then you wrong because you didn't do this. He was trying to do everything I told you in it, but then you were getting hit every time you were wrong because he didn't get back to something else. How you going to win with that? So that make you want to keep playing it. That make you want to keep doing it. Because we're looking at it ain't to no effect. I'm constantly getting punched. I'm constantly getting beat. Why am I keep doing this? But then when you look at, I don't even hold that against you. I granted something else under you that you can do. So I want to get to the heart of the matter, as people say. Get to the inward part of us. If I can get to the genuine inward part of a man, that's what I'm trying to achieve from him. The law won't ever get that from you. The law will never get the genuineness out of a man. It just get a man out of you. All you get out of a man is just anger and frustration. Think about our the father that came. All they every time they heard about coming, it was always, thus said Yahuah, you're Yahuah. What are you gonna get ready to do to you? I'm gonna cut off. He said, here we go again. I thought we were doing better. Think about it, you coming to hear the novel, you come here every time they come. You know what I'm saying? Thus said Yahuah. And he tell you, he ain't coming to you saying, yo, Yahuah. He coming saying, you saying, that ain't good. I heard that a lot of times. I should have known it. You know what? I should have stayed my behind where I was. So he done told you, don't go back to Mizraim. Why wouldn't I go back? Your chastisement is worse than theirs to me. I can't do nothing. You know what we'll say? How we judge those people? Man, stupid, dumb, make no sense. The man right there, and every time I look around, they screw up. Okay, he right-handed the ball. Why you screw up? Mm-hmm. Those people look the same thing you did. I can't win. That's how I look. I can't win. Why wouldn't I go back? I'm better off there. They're like, these people keep talking about they better off with much stuff was going on and bad as stuff was. Let me see. People done came in here and cried and testified how bad it was, and they went back.
Yeah.
So tell me the difference between us and them.
None.
You see that? Because we don't see it that way. You going back to what? What have they gone back to?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We're not far removed from these people. So the only way to get him a people, an arm, was to get us to really just prick our laws.
Yeah.
They'll pick on Ukashabu. You hear it, when they heard this, they started obeying the Torah.
Oh, great.
And they want to know what laws they broke.
What do we do, research?
We just want to know what we need to do to be genuine.
That's right.
They were there on Ukashabu. So what? They were far straight removed from the Torah?
No, sir.
They knew that's what he gave you. Ukashabu, that's Torah, that's law.
Yes, sir.
What we need to do.
Hmm.
To get them to the genuine part. Had to come back and get these people to understand, get you to be genuine. And that's what we're trying to do, be a genuine arm at the end of the day. And now the people that wrestle and fight with, and now it comes back and it wound up being our destruction, rather than being something that vindicate us and being a yasha, being a deliverer to us. So it takes a lot, and I appreciate him for being patient with us, that he didn't cut us off. He getting the number down to a particular point of where he needs it at, because he can't use everybody.
Yeah.
He already saw when he brought them out. You think he killed 25,000 people in one day for a reason? Just like when he told Gideon, the people are yet too many. That was a lot of people. I think over 600,000 people he brought out. He killed a lot of people. It was too many. Remember, what were Gideon and them going to do?
Fight.
What did he tell them to do? It's time.
Go
Told
back.
them to take the city. Once he got the people down, if they happened, they could take the city.
Right.
That's what he's gonna do with us. He got to get the number down to where we can take the city. He don't need everybody. This man knows exactly what he knew. He's gonna just keep him a residue. When you look at how many people, it's gonna be a lot of people, but you got to consider how many people not going. You know, they're looking at how many people there's of us. You need to look at how many people not going. It's just gonna be a remnant, gonna be saved. See, he's gonna still be able to keep his berith he swore that he shouted to Abraham, that they were gonna be like the Kukabee, they couldn't be numbered for multitude. But when you put their numbers up against all the people that ain't getting in, just a remnant. So he gonna be able to keep his word on both ends. You see that? That's how he gonna do it. That's why he told you, ain't but a few gonna find the straight way. A whole bunch of them going the other way. So I'm gonna still keep my debar that I gave to him. There ain't gonna be the Kukabee as the saying. There can't be number for multitude. But when you look at how many people going the other way, it's just a few. I appreciate him.
So
I appreciate him for his operating. I appreciate him for not cutting me off when he could have a long time ago, deservingly.
yes, sir.
Not about no chance, deservingly.
Mhm.
Ain't that right? Deservingly. Ain't no, there's a lot of people worse than me. No, it's not.
Right.
It's because of Khan. See, he done concluded that all unrighteousness is sin.
Right.
So when a man commits sin, it don't matter what the sin is, he said, I see him the same way. You see different.
That's right.
You'll see a child molester greater than you'll see a drunk. He said they're the same people. We see people that we have pet peeve for, we say the worst. You know what I'm saying? But he said, anytime a man violate my Torah, they the same people. Y'all got it. That's why I need it for Khan. See, the law don't do that. They got laws out here. A man's speed, they're not gonna treat that man like no man murderer, are they?
Oh.
Those two lawbreakers, ain't they?
Yeah.
Why they don't treat him the same way?
See you do.
So what? Because one worse than the other. You ain't gonna believe it. Yahuah do too. They come back and start looking at Khan in favor. You started looking at see the Torah don't do that. It don't differentiate. It concludes everybody once. It don't look at a portion of why. Even when he gave him the Torah, you were taught that thou should not do what? Kill. So I'm out here chopping wood. Just trying to get some wood so my wife can cook, so we can be ready for the woman. And that axe hound will fly off and hit Eric and kill him. Y'all supposed to come and kill me, according to the Torah. The Torah didn't make no room for that. The Torah didn't look at my heart. The Torah didn't never look at my heart. He was trying to show why Khan was. Yeah. He said the Torah couldn't look at your heart. All the Torah said, you weren't supposed to kill, and that man dead, and that's your hands. That Torah didn't decide, no, well, what state was he in? Did he mean it? Listen, man, I said you shouldn't kill. That got that. No, you trying to interpret you want to. That's it. So the Torah didn't make room for that. So let me ask you a question. That motivate me more to stay with it and want to serve under it? When they went and sit down and look at, did you look at my heart? Did you look at, I didn't have nothing against that man. Even the law, natural law of him, when you commit murder, they look at why. They want to look at intent. That's why they look at
intent.
If it's a car, they're gonna look. If I hit you, vehicle homicide, and then they go back and look at my tire with defect from the manufacturer. Do I need to be charged with that?
Right.
We need to go back to the manufacturer.
Yeah.
See, Tura wouldn't do that.
Still.
You see why it's important?
Yes, sir.
But see, that make me appreciate and make you appreciate. For everybody, y'all probably ain't with me, are you?
Yes, sir.
Y'all understand that? It's
Yes,
stuff
sir.
it wouldn't have made room for vehicle humping. A person, Yahuah hypothetically driving the car, hypothetically, he run Lanita over. He's drunk, under influence. I'm driving, I run over Chanel, the tire blew, and it was a manufacturer defect, or something was in the road and I hit it and lost control and I hit it, and it fell out to her death. Many men need to get the same time. They said, all I see is 2 vehicle homicides. You ain't gonna believe it. That's what the tourists saw. The tour didn't have room to do that. All the tourists saw was both of us killed somebody. And both of us should get the same crime. You see that? Don't y'all know people look at this? People, this what y'all might not look at. We've all committed some of the same crimes that people that's not here long done. Yahuah looked at the intent. He looked at the law. See, some people out there convicted. It's just like some people go to jail. Some people went to jail one time, they ain't never been back. You know what? They learned their lesson. That taught them enough to realize you ain't never got to worry about seeing me no more. Some people took 5 times, 7 times. Some people ain't never learned. That's what he looked at. He looked at a person that learned their lesson. A person that grew from it and realized that made me though. As bad as it hurt, as much as I don't like it, and much impact it had on me, it just pushed me to a point to where I'll be indebted to him forever. That I'll never be a person that'll falter or break the commandments of the Torah again. But y'all got that on. Oh, it's warm in here. What happened?
It's warm up there though.
That's what it's calling. I thought I fixed it. God almighty. So I was a little warm in here. They ain't on me. I told them about it. They could have paid. They got a machine. They could have put a cord in there and made it kick on. Well, I'll be all right. Oh, you cut that one out? Oh, I get it. It's a little loud. I suffer with them.
You need a doctor.
Not long though. I'm getting me an ice cube and start rubbing it on my chest or something. And then right, melt some ice cube. But again, it's the importance of understanding why the Torah came, understand the difference of the Torah, and understanding the Khan, which is the favor that Elohim has given us. And a lot of times, like I said, trying to serve him according to the law, all we found were a lot of people not being successful. But he found people that were genuine, that came from the heart, from the law, and those are the people he considered. We don't go along and we don't disannul the Torah, we establish it for the fact we have that understanding. That's only because of the Khan of Yahuah that he grants us that. This ain't something you just come up with, because we understand with knowledge puffeth up. And enough knowledge can be enough error to a person where it keeps a person from achieving. Sometimes we can know so much that it becomes detrimental to us. You got what I'm saying? It's hard to teach a person. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of people you can't teach nothing. And you don't want to be one of them people when they come down to it. So we finish reading this and we'll look at a couple of things before we move on. You go. How far did y'all get with it? So for those white, this is a program we use called Byth HaMashiach. With this program, we go through and you look and it's color coded. So the color coding gives you an opportunity to see the enunciation of the Dabary word, they'll call the Hebrew word, and the English. I think they probably take from James, then the Greek. So it's color coded so you can kind of compare writings. Okay? All right, let's go.
For whatever Nikatab before.
Nikatab was written before.
Nikatab to Lamed.
Was Nikatab to Lamed. Lamed, which is the word they use in English, is teach. But a lot of times people don't understand the in-depth of teaching. Teaching would promote seeing, hearing, and visual. Just like when you have a teacher in the classroom, they might use books. They'll use the book. They'll use the blackboard. I don't know why they call them. Well, they originally probably were black, but a lot of them green now. So now you got the blackboard, and then you got the chalk, they're writing, or they'll do illustration, they'll bring in imagery of different things, or projectors, or different things. Because teaching involved that. When we came along, we just teach it. We just said, teach me. That means tell me something. But it actually involved visual as well as listening, you know, the audio. So all these things kind of play a part, and then visual. Y'all got it. It's important that you understand that why he wrote it, so we can have a clear picture, that we can have an understanding, that we can hear it. Y'all got it? All these are important for us. Our forefathers, the Abba, the fathers that came before us, that's what they want to know when they came to the word. Who's going to go and bring it down for us? For what reason? So they can hear it. They knew where it had to come down. They wanted to come down so we can hear it. They want to know who's going to go across the sea and bring it back so we can do it. They knew all these things were factors, and it was important for them to know it and understand it. Today, people just do things and follow things. They don't understand it's a genuineness he wanted to get from us that we just don't have. And to us, and I think what really drives it for us is the fact that we realize the debt. If you come in and you're trying to serve him, there's no debt. There's no willing. There's no, I'm not going to go in no place and just voluntarily hand $10,000 over to American Express. I don't owe them nothing. Why would I get a Discovery card at $20,000? That's stupid. I don't owe you nothing. They said, well, you're not the person we're looking for anyway. The people Elohim was looking for, our supreme ruler, were people, you owe me. And because you owe me, you understand it's a debt. When he taught the Shalakims how to pray, who they called the apostle, the Shalakim meaning the sent one. When Abi knew our Father, which are in Shamayim, you know, right? He told them, thy will be done on the rise as it is in Shamayim. Give us this day our daily, come our bread, and forgive us. That's right. That's why. First thing I had to remember, you had a debt. See, people serve different when you got a debt. You'll see some people work 2 and 3 jobs. You say, that's stupid. Man, I don't work the one. Some people work, they said, because my debt load. My debt got me to where I can't get rest. I got to constantly keep going. That's how we have to be when it comes down to serving Elohim. Because we don't feel like we owe nothing, because we understand now that it's a con, which is favor, we don't realize it's still a debt to be paid. It's a debt. And now since you realize the fact, and I'm serving to do it for the fact that he look at, I'll frankly wipe the debt away, but for me, being a character, and we being a character, you kind of want to pay it. I owe you this. For the fact you didn't give up on me, the fact you didn't let go of me, the fact that you've given me this opportunity to prove myself. When I wasn't proving myself before I wasn't proving myself to me, let alone anybody else. I didn't owe nobody. It's easier to mask, cover up, and lie. And it's safe until you get jammed up and realize you can't keep being the person you've been. It's time for a difference. And we needed that. We needed to know that. And the hardest part is uncovering ourselves. When Yahushua was, when they led him to a cabinet, anybody remember what they did to him besides blindfold him and hit him or struck him and put the crown of thorn on? Anybody knows what they did? Stripped him. And how you think you felt as a man? Shame. And that's what Yahuah do to us. He needs you to be ashamed for everything we've done. So we never have. I know for me, I just learned how to cover and get out. You just think up another lie. I wasn't one of them people that could lie and like, you caught me and stopped me and I'm stopped. No, it's another lie covered out. Because that's human nature. You know, some people say, it caught me on a lie, I was done. Nope, you wouldn't catch me. I remember the lie I told, I can get another one and go right along with it, and they can join together. Or I told another lie so good, it's hard to tell which one was a lie. You just be done with it. But I wasn't giving up. I was gonna fight it to the end because it makes sense to get, because you don't want to get caught. You know what I'm saying? And then he pushed you to a point and realized that just like you don't want to get caught, how about if you didn't do nothing, you had to worry about getting caught?
Right.
If you weren't doing it, you don't have to worry about getting caught. But because we're people and we've been driven for so long of a pattern of just doing wrong and doing things the wrong way and misinformation, it's hurt us a long time. And getting people to a genuine part of themselves of realizing everybody got to get right. Everybody get right. And you know, it ain't a matter of wondering, are you trying to get right? It's about self. It's honestly about self. You knowing where you at and having a real relationship that you can communicate, he answers. You don't have to answer you verbally, but you can see the difference. You know what I'm saying? When you give things to him and you're genuine in what you're doing. In order to do that, you really got to be broken down to the lowest common denominator, the lowest point you can be. Then you can't do nothing but come up. As long as you got room, you just keep going down. Because you'll keep finding hiding places. You'll keep finding excuses. You'll keep looking for other things to cover up. You'll never change. People learn to change to comfort. I can do this, but I ain't gonna do that. I can do this. I know I ain't gonna do that. And you hope that it gets you in because you'll grade yourself off other people. I know people worse than me. Our sister-in-law, she would do that. She'd look at people who were worse than her. She had that mentality. It scared me. She told me one time. She said she looked at other people worse than her. I was like, wow, is that your grading point? Are you using other people for your justification of why he'll keep you, why he'll take you in his mouth, coop to his empire? Are you serious? But it just, you'll be surprised at what people use to justify themselves. So it's important for us to come back to look at how he justifies. You know what I'm saying? Get away from the way we know how man does things. Man is the reason why the whole world is in derision or in the situation it is, and got people divided and got us at wars and different things we're doing, hating one another. But we come back and look at what he established. Man should learn how to do right. Everything he told to do. I mean, it just makes this perfect sense. Do unto others as you had them doing to you. That's just basic. It's easily said. Let me see. I want somebody to kidnap my kids. Does anybody want their kid to get kidnapped? You ain't gonna believe it. What you think be good to do? Don't kill them, kidnap them. Anybody just want to be stabbed, shot, or beat? You ain't gonna believe it. That is. I tell people, hate people enough to leave them alone. I hate you so bad, I just leave you alone. I hate you so bad, I just won't even bother with you, mess with you, take nothing from you. You know what I'm saying? Defraud you. But that ain't man mentality. Man mentality take advantage of the weak, take advantage of the ignorant. So we have to come back and we be taught so we can kind of see where we fall short. It's easy to see other people faults, but it's hard thing for us to do is see ourselves until we do just like he did on camera. You got to be stripped down. Let's look at this. So we got that. So the teach, we understand teach, so that through
Endurance.
They put patience, but going through basically enduring same thing, going through without quitting. That's hard, especially in the day life. So just think about it. When things come at you and things happen, the easy thing to do is to quit. That was my whole life earlier. I just quit. Forget it. Just quit. Why keep going? Why fight? And so that was a mentality I had to break before I even learned this. But that's why I understand it, because that's why I used to be. But what's gonna make me not quit? Because he said don't quit. No. The right is, which means I gotta see some rewards. I gotta see something happening. Why would I just go through and not quit? That don't make sense. Just like when they wrestling, you ever watch wrestling or whatever, like to do what's that, kickboxing, I guess. What do they do on mission? What are they, MMA?
UFC.
They put them guys on hold. Why you think them guys quit? Because they ain't worth my arm getting broke. I want that belt, I want that money, but I don't want my arm broke. So I'm gonna tap the mat. You know what? Guess what you can't do with this? Can't quit. So what'll make you stay there and not give up and say, it's worth my arm being broke so I can obtain the prize? Think how hard those people train.
Mm-hmm.
What they train about 5-10 minutes? Well, probably 1 week a month. Constant. What kind of diet they probably go? Probably go down there, probably go to Ryan's, go to Matt. So you think of what all you giving up. You giving up how you eat, you giving up some of your sleep, constant calisthenics, what you're doing, enduring building. But once you get put in a certain position, you'll quit. You'll quit. Because they look at a point, they realize it ain't worth that.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at your salvation. If you don't measure how great your salvation is, what you think you're gonna do? When the right pressure point get hit or the right situation comes, what you gonna do? You're gonna quit because you're gonna realize it ain't worth it. It's something else you could be doing. So think about it. So all those things you watch in your natural life helps you to understand the point of why you have to keep going. So when we read the Torah, when we read the Sefer, the scrolls, the books, it's because we go back and we use all these people to pivot off of and realize it's a reason to keep going. It's a reason not quit. It ain't because my mindset is on the staff because of those that went through and persevered. My natural mindset is to quit. That's it, automatically. That's no waste of time. It's something I don't like, I ain't doing it. No, I quit. You can have it. So when I watch the writings and I take them for face value of what they mean, that gives me the vigor to say, you know what? Keep going. Don't stop. Don't let it put, the reward is greater than the risk. You know what I'm saying? He told me what a man entering in life. He said it's better for a man to enter into Kai life with having one leg than to go in, one arm, and go in and having two. So see, now it's a reason why I don't quit. They see, you could lose everything, but I can't lose everything because I'm looking at the gain is greater than the loss.
Right.
So if you're doing stuff in natural life, people are hold on. Some of these people hold on. I'll tell you about a lady one time. She was driving, her car got stuck on the railroad track. She had a Mercedes. Nothing told her to get out that car. All she tried to do was get that car off the track, and she lost her life that day. Because she looked at the value of that car. She didn't want to leave her car on that track. That quick. Nothing told her they can have this car. You know what I'm saying? This car ain't worth my life. But you know what you're saying crazy. She did instantly what people do when you love the world.
Yeah.
And let me tell y'all something. Every one of us have it. Don't listen to people lie. I don't love none of this stuff. Walk up and put your hand in their pocket and say, say you don't love nothing. Go get in their car and drive and see if they let you leave with it. Because people recite stuff more than they actually believe it. It's just natural. When you got tested, you get tested, he'll show you her world was right down that track. Her world went, I got a family, I got a husband, I got kids, I got a life. You know what I'm saying? I got a life. I can get another car. Her rationale was, ain't leaving the Mercedes on the track. I got to try to get this thing off of him. And she lost her life. How many times we don't rationalize like that? It ain't cost us our life yet. Because we rationalize how valuable other things are versus the word. When it comes down to where the word got to be the Dabary, it place sets itself that nothing else can be around. Nothing can be measured. Nothing else you can measure equivalent to. When Yahuah was on the 2, when he died, what did he do with his mother? He sung 2-part song. Appreciate the love you gave me, mama, even though it was a crack fiend, mama. He gave her away. He realized it get to a point where even people relationship get tested. We knew he didn't own anything when he came here, but now we're getting tested on where you at on this relationship. See, people don't really think about when you set yourself toward this way, honestly, you'll find that people you gotta let go. Mama, daddy, sister, brother, kids, grandkids, because you get tested. You'd be surprised what people at in your life. You thinking, I'm good, everything I got, and ain't nothing more important to me. But that's teeth and tongue talking. Until they get touched, until something happened to it, that's when the proof in the pudding. So you just can't allow your love, your heart, your affection to be greater for things or people than it is for him. I mean, that's the truth. I know you heard it before, it sounds redundant. We all get tested. We all got to be tested. It ain't one test, it's constant because things are growth. You don't kill, how many of y'all ever kill or pull up weeds before? And that was it. You know how to deal with them no more. What happened? And you ain't gonna believe it. If he don't keep testing, it'll come right back. You'll go right back to drinking. It'll come back. You said, I got that out of my life 32 years ago and 33 when it came back. Because listen, it's a constant evaluation. It's a constant checking. If you check yourself, you're gonna miss something.
Yeah.
Listen, I had a little pain right here in my chest. We were going down there to the thing for the meet and greet with the police. We were going down there, I was like, well, I'm gonna get my hospital right here. I said, well, I'll probably be all right. So I was doing 70. I want my ginger ale kicked in just in time and burped that thing. I said, whoo! I said, thank you. Also on the phone with me, he said, ain't nobody heard to thank the Most High for a burp. I said, boy, that thing right here, live time. I said, I'm gonna shoot the rock there. I said, I'm gonna shoot down. I was gonna bust through the door and holler, help! So I go straight to the back. Rockdale, the park here behind, you be sitting right there. I've been in that parking lot right now, stiffed up. They'd have thought about 4 IQ under my butt cheek and let me sit down. Listen, but the fact of, when you check for yourself, you start diagnosing. It just so how what I diagnosed was, but it just show you. You base it upon how you feel and how inconvenienced it'll make. I looked at the inconvenience. I didn't want to be inconvenient. I don't want to be sitting there. I got other stuff I need to do. and I don't want to be stuck nowhere. So when I examine myself, my examination was based off of my comfort. I need to diagnose myself, and then it worked out the way I called it. But a lot of times, that's what we do. You'll diagnose yourself to your comfort level. It ain't that serious. I don't think it's nothing critical. I don't feel like it is. And you'll wind up, and then when saying it, that's something natural. He'll show you. You don't be careful. You'll grade yourself like that when it comes to the word. I mean, I got some stuff going on in my life, but I don't think it's that serious. I don't think it's nothing to where I need to put myself out, where I need to let nothing go or cut some off. You see what I'm saying? Only way we understand anything when it comes to Elohim is the fact that we have to understand it as men and women. How we do things in life and how we see things in life. You're dealing with a ruach, a spirit, when you're dealing with the Most High. So how do you see a ruach? What color is it? Shape. Give me a shape. Give me a weight. How much does it weigh? A height. How tall is it? So it's hard for us to relate to something like that because I don't have a shape, weight, size, and a color. So for a man, how do I figure this? You put something in your mind, ice cream. How many of y'all just thought about ice cream? What kind? Yeah. Something you can picture. Ain't no, I couldn't because I can't think about ice cream. What the vanilla, chocolate, the Neapolitan. I remember ice cream was real basic. I don't know. It got 49 million different kinds. Baskin-Robbins closed down because it's more than 31 now. They got Chunky Monkey. It's good now. The name don't make you want to buy it. Well, that's some good ice cream. But then now they just mixed up. But at the end, these are things you can visualize. Things you know, a banana. How many of y'all don't know what a banana look like? Did the image come to your mind of a banana? So when you think Elohim, what's the image? So you got to look at how a man's relationship is. Our relationship and how we deal with things are predicated on what I know about it. What I know about a snake. Somebody saying you there, it's a snake right there. What you say? Oh, okay. You tear that whole pew up. You start kicking, screaming. Because what do you know about a snake? It's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It'll usually hit in the area. You coming up like that, nobody gonna be trying to duck. They like snakes don't jump out of ceiling. Not typically. You know what I'm saying? You start dealing, what do you know? So with Elohim, the thing that comes with us, we deal with him based off what we know. We operate him by what we know. He wanted them to know about him, so he gave him the verb, the characteristics about him. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. All these things want us to know characteristics about him. So before we start to configure an image, I want you to know about the attributes. Let's deal with the attributes. And then what do you know about the attributes? You know when a person get killed, whether it's a car strike or a sword, a knife or a bullet, all these different things. He said, I do all those things. So now we looked at he operates through people. He can operate through people and cause behaviors to happen. So rather than knowing the figure of, I understood the characteristic and the workings. Now when I understand the word, and I started and graph the word, join it together, and join the things together when they come together. Now I start to understand the idea. There's an idea he's trying to sell me. So I got to buy into the idea. Let's tell somebody come, hey, you want to get a vacuum cleaner? So, they're going to look at, they're trying to sell, you're going to look at, you got to sell me on it. Sell me on it. Just like when people look at a vacuum cleaner, you go to the store, they have all of them. Some people going to look at price point. Some people buying straight brand name. Some people looking at both. Some people going to read boxes, start looking. Some people looking at colors. I hate that color. I buy this just because I like the color. So that's why you put so many different ones up, because people are different about what strikes them, you know what I'm saying? Or what gets them to buy. For us, he gives us all these different things we operate and we deal on a daily basis to look at. That's a smart buy for you to go with. Based on the operation, based on the fact, unlike man, we see color, we do things, he doesn't. He looks straight on the heart. And because he look on the heart, he see the genuineness of us that we won't see. It's certain stuff. You can't pass by the street and say, man, I felt genuineness. I felt nothing but maybe the wind when you walk by from me going faster. You absolutely wouldn't know. Because you don't see a person's heart. We see just the outside image. And the outside image hangs us up so much, it's hard to get to the deeper part. But that's what we did. But it teaches us to go deep, to get more into, get more, what we get more, want to know more about. Just like him telling us in all these different things how he operated. we learned to fear him, which he said was the first thing we need to do. You have to fear me first. The first thing he let need to be on the table, there needs to be fear. You hear a man walk up, I'm saying, what's your name? I kill. Let me think and say,
Yeah.
what kind of introduction was that? Because he gave him his name, so that's you looking for a name back. I told him I kill. I want him to know that off the rip.
Good.
But I also, did you know, I make a lie.
Yeah.
So I could take something down and I could bring it back.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to just think that when I do something, that I'm limitless. You know what I'm saying? Also, I wound. I will wound, but I can heal. So you can look at me on all these different areas of looking at. Now, if I did something to you, you know, I can reverse that. I can change that. So we looked at him in a different manner. We had the fear of the fact that you kill, you wound, but also I make alive and I heal. Yeah. Y'all got it? And I'll let you know, is nobody can deliver out of my hands. So you start thinking of who, your uncle or your cousin, or whoever it might be, or your dad, whoever it is, nobody can deliver out of my hands. Because he wanted to show himself to be superior. The only fact is to tell you he was Al Shaddai. It's to tell I'm the most powerful. When we looked at our people and when the people, or the Abraham people, when they kept animals, we talked about that. The animals they kept, they didn't keep elephants and they didn't keep giraffes. They kept bakar, what they call the olive, the ox. They kept the sheep. They kept the ram, the goats, the different things they had. This was the most versatile, the strongest, powerful animal they had was the olive. So when we look at him as being Elohim, because he dealt with man on what do you know? What do you keep? What do you know about the versatility of this animal? This animal here can do the same. This animal can wound, it can defend, it can protect, it can lead, it can teach. This animal can do all, because you look at one that leads the herd and they follow. He said, so you understand me. He had to give us all these different things in creation, just so you'll have an idea of the massive abilities he got. He couldn't tell it all. Think about everything in the world, it itself plays a part of identifying him. That's why he made it. But when man go, everything we get, we destroy it, we tear it down. That's all we know how to do is destroy and tear things down. Getting an understanding has been so important for us, and understanding him. A lot of this stuff could be recovered. Why would he tell her that if my people which are called by my name humble themselves and palau, pray, ask, and seek my face, my pani, turn from their Rosh Hashanah, their evil way. He said, then I'll shama from Shamayim. I'll forgive their kataim, their sin. I'll heal their rocks. I'll heal the land. He said, I'll heal it. He said, I'm the one allowed it to get this way because of the actions of the people. So we're dealing with somebody, people look at the world so far gone, the world is just gone, the world, and that's true, but there ain't no way he can't recover. It's just, man just say, give up. Let's just give up. We done already turned our kids over to, you know what still scares me? I just never thought in my life I would live in a world, as bad as it been, where a homosexual decide to jump. And kids can be taught, and you got to be read a book by somebody. Why you just can't read the book? Why we got to deal with you being a transgender? Why has this got to be the gender? You got to be gay to read the book. And you don't hear nowhere straight they read. How do we get introduced to this stuff in the school? How we get here? Just show you how far we've gone in churches, religion, synagogue, mosques, churches, non-denomination. Everybody fell out the way. Everybody afraid to cross the line. That's why we won't fix nothing. Everybody afraid to cross the line and say, no, I'm not standing for it. It ain't happening. It's crazy. How do we get to a day, we're in the worst economy we ever seen, and we discuss a sex change for a kid? Who paying for this? Worst thing I've seen in my life. This is where we at. It's the worst thing I've seen in my life. And parents are good with, parents are still dropping their kids off to the socially institution and say, hey, take my kid. And whatever sex they be, you tell them, you make them one. Whatever assignment he gave you at birth, that's what you down with him. I don't care what government program they come with. They can't sell it him. We ain't buying it. A boy's a boy and a girl's a girl. We ain't gonna play no pronoun, you a boy. Yeah. Growing to be a man, you a girl. You going to be a woman. You can't be nothing else him. Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. That man have moved so far away from this man and what he established that we actually came up with questioning that there could have been two men in the garden. You bring me two men lock them up somewhere, and don't let them out till they come out with a baby. That's it. Lock them up so you can't come out. You come out with a baby. Start. Go. Lock the door. I don't want to see it. And I'm talking about, don't be crying like no baby in there. I don't want to hear it either.
Right.
It better be a baby. All they're gonna get is a turd. 1, 2, turd. That's all they get. You can't create no baby. 2 women gunfight. You can't create no baby. Ain't no teeth. Stop it.
That's right.
It's crazy. The world is it's scary that we've gotten to that point, and it's only getting worse. But we're trying to get back to what he'll step. Come on, finish this up, son. And through
The Nakum.
the Nakum. Nakum. So consolation of
We keep the bees.
other writings.
We might have people.
Might have a cord attachment. Let's look at something right quick. See if that right quick. See if that's I think that's Byth, which was second Byth. Dabary Yamym. They'll call it Second Chronicles. See if that's 25. There's somebody on the bill. I heard something going. I said, I know you're coming back. I ain't gonna have no little bitty feet. I heard something. I like, those some small feet, ain't it? Byth, Dabary, which is the matter of the day. Dabary, Yamym. See that 25 and 1. Let's say that what I want. Let's say that's what I want. Listen.
AmatsYahu was 25 Shanim old.
AmatsYahu. Okay. So AmatsYahu, which means the truth. Yahuah is the truth.
Right.
And that's how we give a name like Yahuah is the truth.
Yes, sir.
Amat is the word for the truth. So Yahuah is the truth. We believe that. He told us, he said, I'm the way, the truth, and the light.
Yes, sir.
Which is the or. Isn't that amazing? See, these people had names that meant something. Now our name don't mean Jared. What that mean? That means you forgot to put the B there for Barry. I mean, what did Jerry mean? Ralph. I was like, what does it mean? Think about it. The way things were done, and you give, and their names were given to Shem, the names were given to them. That was a characteristic that you were looking for them to perform, which makes sense why you would name them later. Like what we do, traditional American, we'll name a baby as soon as they pop out. We got the name before you came. They wouldn't have done it. That's why you waited. Until I can really watch you, I can't really give you a name. Except for Yahushua, his name was given because he was actually going to fulfill that attribute. They gave it to him on the 8th day, but his name had already been given by the Malachim, what they call the angels. They already gave him a name. They said, you're going to bring forth the son. You should call his name Yahushua because he was going to save his people. That's what his name is, Sabbath. He saves. So it makes sense for him to have a name. But everybody else, typically, you will watch them before you gave them the name. I need to first see what you do. I'm gonna name your name Amat, which is the truth. And then you're a lying infant. You're a lying infant. Let me change your name. We'll give them and we'll run through book name, but for them, a lot of time it makes sense to wait because you were watching to see characteristics.
Right.
Look here. When did we name Yahuah? When I said we named it, when did we get the name? We didn't get the name until later. When they was in Mizraim, they called Egypt. They want to know what was his name.
Right.
Which means they knew what?
Here.
They knew character. We don't look at character. We just give you a name before you come out. Name you, your name gonna be Runner. And you slow him and last. You know what I'm saying? But we done named you Runner. We done jumped out so bad. Your name Runner. You see what I'm saying? So AmatsYahu was 25 years old when he became Malak. They put King of Malak is an emperor. And
he reigned
how long?
29 Shanim.
Well,
in Jerusalem.
See, everything identifies and let you know. You look at the book, they'll call it Chronicle. We don't use that title Chronicle because it's Greek. It deals with Chronos. Chronos is a Greek god of time. So a lot of times they beat you up in writings because they give you stuff and you don't realize people are playing with you when they're writing. Chronicles, you break it down as Chronos is actually a Greek word, meaning that's why they tell you, boy, when you having fun, which is a lie. You ever seen a clock with wings on it?
No.
Because it's a Greek god. So that's why we used to go back to the name he gave it. The name was Dabary Yamym, which means the matter of the days. That's why we go back, because we want to know what matter. Now, if you're going back through the matters of the day, there's something you need to know. You need to know AmatsYahu, how old was he? He was 25. And what happened? That's when he began to be a reign. That's when he began to be the Malak. And how long did he reign? Well, he reigned for 29 years. Where? In Jerusalem. What was his name? His mother's name was
Yahuah.
So now, when we look at it, and the reason why they say of where?
Jerusalem.
Of Jerusalem. Now, what's important and why you need to know this, because this is going to be a timeline you need to keep up with, because it's going to refer back to Yahushua. Because we can't tie him to his father, Yosef. Because Yosef was not his biological father. Who are we going to use? His mother. That's why we look at, so if we were going to use his mother to tie him back to Daud, we're going to say, how did you do that? See that? You can't just jump and do your own thing. But since we go back and look in the matter of the days, guess what happened? We start out, we didn't even find out who his daddy was. It told you who his mother was. His mother tied back to who? Daud, who they call David. That's going to be important because Yahushua is going to be, they're going to be calling him the Ben of Daud. So it's important, but you can't, they're going to say, okay, well, Joseph wasn't his daddy. How did you tie him back to Daud? We did it from his mother. The same way here. That's why we read, whatsoever written aforetime, we can see, you can hear it. Y'all see that? This is limiting to teach you. Y'all got it and told you about his mother name. Let's see what has happened. And he did what?
Yeshua in the of Yahuah.
Y'all said Yashar. He did what was right. Or they might look at like well, Yashar like upright. And he did that. He did right and well.
In the of Yahuah.
The so the sight. What do we know about the sight? Well, with the eye, I can take appearance. I can see appearance. My eye, I can learn from watching. Put your arm around her. Why you had to look at her first? That's your wife. You don't put your arm around. Don't even worry about it. You want his arm, he got to look at you first. We can't use you, kid. Come put a check on the book. That man had to look, he looked like, put my home wrong hook. Yeah, wrong hook. Now put a check on the board. I'm sorry, y'all. That man got out of line. He got to put his name on the board. Man got so many checks up there. And you can cash them thing, you'll be a billionaire. Here you go. Thank you. You knew you were getting a check tonight. I don't know how. You get them pretty regular. So now the purpose is, and again, while we look at Romans 15:4, and I usually start that for our foundation, because anytime you build, you need a foundation. You need to see patterns. When you start believing something, you can't just say, well, I believe. I need a pattern. I can't just run off, because as a Christian, when I learned the way as a Christian, they just taught you don't question God. Was one questioning. I just don't understand something. They made it like you finna burn and go in hell because you questioning God.
Yeah.
I don't understand something. They ain't questioning. I don't know.
Right.
I'm trying to see the logic in what you're saying, because it's saying he his son, but then we got a mother, and that's not actually his father. So we got issues when you think about it. Just calmly thinking, it makes sense to question. So now I need to go back to look at a pattern. How are we attaching him all the way back to Abraham and all the way back to Adam without going, we're not using his father, but now we're going through his mother. But now we're starting to see where they're aligning all these new Malak, the Malaks of Yehuda, which is what tribe he came from, Matah. He came from Yehuda. So when we see this, it's not Yasharal. And this also lets us know he's giving us a timeline about Yasharal. I mean, about Yehuda right now, and not by Yasharal. All right. So let's see what. So now this is what he did. He did right in the sight, which is the appearance, knowledge, and knowing. Yahuah knew to see an appearance that this man was doing right. What happened?
Only not with the whole law.
So what we're gonna do? So he was doing what was right. What was he following? Torah. Why are we looking at his heart? What does heart got to do with it? See, you can't win with y'all. Which one you want? You want my heart, or you want me to do what's right? He told you this for a reason. Let's see what happened.
Now it came to pass
What happened?
when the Malkut was secured to him.
See that? When he looked at, I ain't got to listen. I defended it, is mine. I got it. What happened?
That he killed his Abadim, who had slain his Abba, the Malak.
Is that wrong? No, that's that eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. That's Torah. That's why the book telling you this is law. How would he be wrong? He just told you. If you were sitting here thinking like he was wrong, that wouldn't make sense. He just told you he did what was right. So why y'all looking for wrong? I just told you he did what was right, but he let you know, I'm going to show you the righteousness of man, keeping the law, and I'm going to show you the Sadiq of Elohim. Now, the man that did what was right. They killed his daddy. Why wouldn't he kill him? Listen.
But he did not put
That but mean rather, but he did not do what?
put their beneath to move.
How many raise your hand? You see that error? That's error. It's telling you, but rather he didn't put their son to death. Nobody don't see this as right. Nobody don't see this as wrong. I mean, what's right about this? Hands? No hands. Y'all want to know what's right about what he just did? The Torah taught you that. He said that the son shouldn't be put to death for the father. He said every man should die for his own sin. So let me get this straight. If I kill his father, he killed me, there's no reason to go there. Austin has nothing to do with that. Right? Y'all have absolutely nothing to do with it. So he would be doing what was right if he killed me if I killed his father. He would be doing wrong if he killed me if I killed his father and killed Bryce and Austin. That's why he's telling you he did what was right, but he's going to let you, and he also telling you he killed the men that killed his father. That's right. Guess what he didn't do? I didn't kill their sons because their sons had nothing to do with this. This was a matter that the fathers did, and I paid back the fathers. So this is all right. Listen.
But did as it is katab in the Torah.
See that? He's letting you know. It almost looked like he did wrong and said, but rather, didn't it? No, he letting you know he did what was written. What happened?
In the scroll of Mushah,
What did it say?
which Yahuah Amar saying, Abod shall not be put to move for beneath.
See that? He said the father shouldn't be killed for the son. That don't make sense. Bryce and Austin go out here and they go murder some people. Where's my country? We got to kill you. I'm like, for what? Well, your son's killed. Well, if that's the case, that's a lot. You need to kill them. Why would I be put to that? I have nothing to do with that. To show you when Simeon and Louis, who they'll call Levi and Louis, when they went and they killed shook them, they killed the whole camp because they raped the daughter Dinah, raped their sister. They came and they killed them. He let them know, you done brought shame up on me. He let them know, you done brought that up on me. You done make me, people looking at me behind this. That's what your cult were mad with them about. He like, now people gonna be looking at me because of what you guys done. And you know what? He wasn't put to death either. So he would come back, look what was right. He said, I had nothing to do with that. Come on, what happened?
Nor beneath but to move for Abod.
See that? Neither shall a son be put to death for his father, but who?
Every each shall be put to move for his own
See,
katab.
whatever they done, you got to pay for it. Come on.
And AmatsYahu assembled Yehuda and appointed them according to the Byth for their Abod, for captains of thousands and for commanders of hundreds throughout all Yehuda and Yamym.
What happened?
And he numbered them from 20 shanim old and upward, and found them to be 300,000 choice unashamed.
Doing what?
Able to go to war.
They were 20 years old. That's when we started looking at, we acquired them as a man at 20. Now they moved it up. People don't realize they used to count you grown at 20 in America. They used to. Now they moved it to 21. But see, they understand everybody 20 years of age. That's all he doing. This is all Torah. Come on.
Able to go to war and handle spear and shield. And he hired 100,000 mighty unashamed of valor.
Oh, wow.
Out of Yasharal.
Out of Yasharal,
for 100 talents of silver.
What happened?
But each of the Elohim came to him saying,
what did he say?
O Malak,
do what?
Not let the Sabot of Yasharal go with you.
Sabot is the army. That's right. He said, don't let the army of Yasharal go with you. Tell them why.
For Yahuah is not with Yasharal.
Right, with who?
With all the Beni of Apharim.
See that? Apharim is who ruled over Yasharal. Apharim means fruitful. That's how we know he ain't got rid of Yasharal. There's a fight now. Yehuda and Yasharal a fight, and it'll be a argument between the different Matar because people look at he cut them off and he favored Yehuda. Got it? And not realizing he never intended to cut off Yasharal. To prove it, he put Apharim over him. Apharim means fruitful. So if I was gonna kill them out, why would I make them fruitful? See, that's why he told you, Elohim hadn't cast away people before knew. See, the people that think he did don't understand how am I planning on cutting off everybody new and I name them fruitful? I put somebody over them, his name is fruitful, not fruity.
Right.
If any gay living, not fruity, fruitful, and then he gonna continue to flourish. You got what I'm saying? So you can understand how when it looked like things are happening to it, that's why it was important to pay attention to names, the shem, and understand the meaning. How was I planning on getting rid of Yasharal, cutting them off when I put a man over them whose name was fruitful? That shows you already, I never plan on casting away. He said, I never cast away the people I foreknew. I never intended to do that. See, that's why he let them know, with all the beneath are offering. Listen what happened.
But if you do go,
Hold on, they moved up at 27, that's 8. Listen.
but if you do go,
Do what?
do it,
And do what?
be strong for the battle.
Why?
Yet the Elohim shall bring you down before the enemy.
Listen.
For Elohim has power to help,
And to do what?
bring down.
Listen.
AmatsYahu said to the east of
Verse 9. Listen. AmatsYahu.
said to the east of the Elohim,
Mm-hmm.
but what shall we do for the 100 talents which I have given to the troops of Yasharal?
Mm-hmm.
And the east of Elohim answered, Yahuah has much more to give you than this.
That's what we mess up at. See, that way, now guess what we just found out where a problem came in at? And with his goods. See what he brought up and what we looked at. What I'm gonna do with all that I invested. I just paid $100,000. You telling me just let it go and not to do it. Because now I need to try your heart. But you think that man, listen, we're reading behind the action. You think while he walking, they were writing and while he was doing it? These came up after the effect to let you know, oh, he was doing what was right, but his heart wasn't. And I'm gonna show you what he was doing right. He was doing what the Torah told him. But when you start getting tested and tried on some other thing, you find out you come up short on other end. Because now I just found where your defect that. It's the chink in your armor. Your money is an issue. When you put your money out behind something, you ain't letting that go. That's a hard thing for you to let go of. But how else are you gonna know it unless this situation happens? So some people say, well, see, now that came up, that just tore him down and killed him. No, they give you operation, give you opportunity to see where you're at. People don't look at that. When situations happen, this is an opportunity to see where I'm at. So this was written for, what was it written for? For our learning. So we can go through with what? And pay endurance. So guess what I look, I get a situation, I don't put $100,000 in it. I say, man, that's everything I got in that thing. I can't let that go. I got to reflect back on the teaching. We had a man do that before. And he let me know. And I'm saying, I keep Shabbat. I keep the dietary law. I keep all, that's right. But your heart ain't right. Because now they come down your heart and that money, this your situation. It don't have to be that. It be your heart and your wife, your heart and your kid, your heart and your grandkid, your heart and your mother. Every one of us, you always got to be checked. It's a constant. Because things grow. And when things grow, they'll fester. So you always got to be challenged to know where you at, what you'll walk away from, what you'll let go for your salvation, your soul. That's something a lot of people don't consider. Let's see what happens. I'll let y'all go. Get ready to go. Come on. 10.
And AmatsYahu badal them.
He separated them, but dog, that's what he looked at. Y'all got to go. But listen, did he just let him go because he told him to let him go? Why he let him go? Let me come. That makes sense. Give me all the money out your pocket. And what drugs are you on right now? That makes absolute no. See, people just see the Lord tell me I just be doing something. Why would that man finna just let that go? I just gave them people $100,000. I'm not finna let no $100,000 go. That's crazy. He said, Yahuah able to do more than that. This is gonna be based off of what you've been told. It's gonna be based off of pattern of behavior. I've either seen him do it, I've seen the workings of that. People, that makes no sense. Why would I just do that because you told me to do it? See, people tell you to do stuff that's not practical. This man will only do it because you have to have something you can reference. That's the purpose of why you got the writings. I got to be able to reference that. Abraham gave up his only seed. He said, through him, I'm going to make it like the cook of bean. I'm going to expand the small you got. I want you to offer them up, willing to let it go. And look what I'm going to give you. Of course, the man, look, I'm a descendant of Abraham. Yahuah has done what he said. The existing one has done what he said. If he's giving me word to let it go, and he's going to do more than what I gave up, then that's what I'm going to hold to. Let me tell you something. The writing told us starting off that this man did what was right, but not with what? There's no way he could have saw his heart. No way he could have saw it. He had to show it to him. Now you got something you can wrestle with. Now you got to make a decision. Is it worth it? A lot of stuff we do, we don't think about, is it worth it? Think about this. People really don't think about this. Dying is the most realistic thing we're going to do. Living and dying. Owning things come and go. Everybody done owns. How many of y'all done own something before you don't have it no more? So that come and go. How many of y'all done lived before and died? See that? That'd be the most realistic solid thing we ever do in our life. You living, that's real. You gonna die, that's real. So a lot of times we really gotta get things put to a point to us that where it's realistic for us enough that I'll do it. And it won't be something I'll do and I'll regret it, or I'm constantly saying, I don't think I should have did it. I don't feel like I should have did it. Because then you still not where you need to be with it. Because when this thing comes, you gotta know it. That's the purpose being taught. Nobody just jumped up and did something. He would have only done this because I know I have a relationship. He came to try me, to show me something about myself. Because where my heart was, I was more into my money and where I put my money at. And I felt like I was right. So things come to show you. When we heard that his heart wasn't right, he didn't know it no more than we did till you find it out and you read it. Situations come to show us where we at. You will assume you somewhere you don't know until. Let's see what he say happened. And AmatsYahu separated them, the who?
Troops which came to him from Ephraim.
To do what?
To go to their own Malchum.
So that what?
Anger burned mightily against Yahudah.
And they did what?
Returned to their Malchum in fierce anger.
Guess what? You just gotta be mad. That's all I can tell you. You just gotta be mad at the end of the day. When they come down to what that man tell to do for our salvation, that gotta supersede anything else. I'm telling you something. It don't matter about how you feel, what you thinking. It's about when this man give our orders on what we gotta do, they gotta ride everything. We pretty much ride off of, we pretty much move off of our emotions and our comfort levels. And those are things that hinder us a lot of times. Because what's make you comfortable ain't what make you saved. I'm just being honest. What make you comfortable ain't what make you saved. What make you saved gonna make you very uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That's just being honest. There's no way to be comfortable. No more than he was comfortable up on that too. All right. You ain't gonna believe it, but it saved us. It saved it though, didn't it? Mm-hmm. So that let you know what make you think you're gonna be comfortable. They're gonna put you at some losses. They didn't tell us yet he got the money back. He just told me who able to give you more. And this is how we look. I ain't worried about that because I know I got 200,000 coming now. He never told you that. What if he what if he let me keep my life? I was gonna take your life had you kept going. Yeah. So when you think about it, how we typically measure stuff, he gonna give me more than that. Yeah. I'm looking at money. I gave up money. Why would I look for money for the reward? What if I give you more money, but I strike your health? Yeah. Now you gotta take all the money I gave you to use to try to recover your health and still don't get it. So did that profit you? Right. So stop looking at everything we get from him as a monetary, but yeah, we need money. I'm not telling you, money ain't wrong. It's just the fact that a lot of times we seek that as approval. If I got a lot of money, I got a lot of things, that means he with me. That means he working in my life. He could actually be setting you up and it'd be for your fall. Listen, the book declares in writing that whatsoever good thing any man sow, he said the same he gonna reap. You don't have to be saved. Like a lot of times people see people that say, oh, them sinners got it. True in action, but at the same time, some of those people got things because they did some good things. He said, listen, he look at if a person do right, I'm gonna pay for what's right. I ain't say I was gonna save you. Right. So he can give you things. That don't mean that a lot of people equate their things for salvation. Because Yahushua should have never been saved because he didn't have nothing. Right. There's no way he could make it in, right? Right. He said, it's impossible. He said the birds on the air have nests. He said foxes had holes. He didn't have nowhere to lay his head, so surely he ain't saved. Correct? Right, incorrect. So how do we come up with associating ourselves with salvation? We got things. How we got it if people like us when he was hated. See, all that came in and showed you a different look at things than how we saw it. We pretty much look at, if I wake up, the sun shining, it's a good day, he working in my life. He ain't working in your life if it's raining. Why would you serve somebody that can't work except if the sun come up? Because society pretty much dictate your behavior for salvation. You can't let them dictate it. You got to let the word dictate it. And when you look at it from a word relationship, then what people do don't matter as much. I'm not counting on people to give me no accolade. I'm not counting on people to look at me a certain way. I'm counting on him to look and him to give me favor. But that's going to be based upon my knowledge of him and my reaction toward what he mandate for me to do. All of those are going to be the key component on my salvation and him recognizing it. Y'all got it?
Sure.
That's two. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the word. Have opportunity chance for us to say they consider. See, we got us some visitors down. Y'all mind we get your name?
Cody.
Who else we got? Odie?
Cody.
Cody. All right, Cody. And Anna, how you doing, sweetie? Doing all right? Good to meet y'all. How y'all find them?